Hey, we're at GoToMath.com doing some Julia programming. This will be tutorial 2. We're going to run a simulation and find the average number of trials when throwing some dice. And actually, let's let this be part. Yeah, we'll make this be part 1. Okay. So we're going to roll some dice. Now, this all came to me this past year when I was at the casino and I was at the roulette wheel. And I started to ask myself a question after something that I was doing there at the roulette wheel, and that was keeping track of all the numbers that were coming up. But what we're going to do here is instead of looking at numbers on the roulette wheel, we'll work with something easy. In other words, 1 through 6. We'll just look at a die, rolling a die, and I'm going to try to draw a die here. Okay. I'm trying to draw on a tablet. 1, 2. Okay, I don't think this is exactly how die is set up, but you get the point there. The pips I don't think are in the right order, but that's okay. So we rolled a die, and what we're going to do is look at the number that appears on the top of the die, and then we're going to write that number down. And this should become a little clearer to you what I'm talking about. All right, so it looks like on top of the die here, we rolled and we're going to record a 3. All right, so we'll let X be, well, technically it's called the random variable, but don't worry about that. We'll let X be the unknown, and we'll go ahead and label this row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Those will be what appears on the top of the die after we roll them. So we rolled a 3, and we'll just put a tally mark there as 1. Okay, so that line under the 3 is just a tally mark. All right, so we rolled the die again, and we got a 1 this time on top. We roll the die. How do you like that? Simulated that roll. We got a 4. All right, and let's see here. We're going to roll that die again. This time it looks like a 6 appeared. How do you like that? We'll put a tally mark there. Roll the die again. And we got another 1 popped up. We're going to roll that die. Look like a 2 popped up. Okay, and we rolled the die again, and what happened? Oh, another 1 popped up. Okay, keep rolling the die. What we get? And a 5 popped up. Okay, so this is where we stop. All right, we stop right here. The program, we're going to write a program. That's where the program terminates. All right. Okay. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to sum up all these tallies here. So it took 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it took 8 rolls, right, for all of the numbers to appear at least once. Okay, for all the numbers to appear at least once. Okay, so now what we're going to do now is we're going to run this experiment again. So we call this an experiment, and every time we roll, we call that a trial. All right, so we're going to do this again. This time we're going to speed things up just a little bit. So we rolled a 2, a 4, a 3, a 1, 1, 1, 6, and 5. Okay, so let me just go ahead and, so we got a 2, we only got 1 2 there, and 1 4, and 1 3 appeared, and out of all these, and then there were 1 2 3 1s, and a 6, only 1 6, and 1 5. All right, so we add up all the tally marks, and it's just a coincidence that they summed 8 also. So that's complete coincidence. So we summed up, so we're keeping track of these sums, all right? Because what we're going to do is we're going to continue to do this experiment a bunch of times, probably 1,000 times, 10,000 times. The more times that you run the experiment, okay, we're going to find out what number that this average is going to actually converge towards. All right, so we're running the experiment, I don't know, 1,000 times. When we start doing the programming, and we're going to simulate this, and we'll do 1,000 and then 10,000 and so forth. All right, so we're summing up the trials. Okay, I'm just going to sum t, sum trials. Summing up the trials there. Okay, so I don't know, 150. I labeled 150. Seems kind of low, but if they all sum to 150 if we ran 1,000 experiments here, but just let exp be experiments. So to get the average, right? To get the average, we take the sum of all the trials and divide it by the number of times, the number of experiments, number of times we did that, and that'll give us the average. Right? And we'll just label it as average here, AVG, for average. So what we're going to do is be digging into the coding now. So you've never even done any programming before, that's